everybody. A very, very happy Tuesday to you. I hope the start of your August and the start of this week have been wonderful. These are a few of the wonderful things that did not get damaged in the flood. I know this is a little bit of a different video, but I thought I'd set them up so you have something to look at because downstairs is still in quite a disarray. But anyway, some of these beauties are from some of you lovely ladies in this community that were gifted to me. Some I've purchased, but I just wanted to have something for y'all to look at. I'm on for a few reasons today. First of all, I would like to send a huge thank you to all of the wonderful people who have purchased kits from me. Thank you very much. All of the ones that were purchased last week were shipped. I did end up going to the post office a day early on Wednesday. I had said Thursday would be my shipping day, but when I went to start, excuse me, creating shipping labels, I realized I didn't have a P.O. box here yet. And I have no idea why I chose Thursday. I just randomly chose Thursday, but it did work out well. I mean, I could have chosen Wednesday, but I didn't know. But I went on Monday, and in this town, they don't just let you get a P.O. box. You have to fill out the form, and then they have to show it to your carrier, and they have to verify that you indeed live at this address. And so then I had to go back on Tuesday and I got the P.O. box. So that way I came home and I did labels. So I did send stuff on Thursday as well because some kits were purchased Wednesday after I had shipped. So all of those kits have been received except for one. It was an attempted delivery. I have messaged the purchaser of that kit to, it does say action required. They didn't have a safe place to leave the kit, so hopefully that kit will make it home soon. I've had a couple kits purchased since Thursday that will be going out this week. They're just waiting until, I'm only going to do shipping one day a week. I really, that's what I can do right now. So I still have quite a few kits. If you are looking for any long sold out kits, please visit my website. But we'll get to that in a minute because I have some more thank yous. There are some other ladies who have helped in other ways, and I'm just going to say thank you to them. They know who they are and what they've done. And I also would like to thank a couple ladies. Arlene and Tasha both shared about this on Instagram, and Tasha has made a video and Herlanda spoke about it in her video. So thank you, ladies. I really appreciate your love and support. It means more to me than I will ever be able to put into words, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Every bit helps when you're buying these kits because this was a blow, especially after moving, buying a house. It's a lot. So I really appreciate it so very much. So yes, I still have quite a few kits left. And like I said, if you're looking for any long sold out kits or just any kits, please check my website, and it will be linked down below, but it is Kymberlee'sCocoon.com. And I have two separate tabs. One says kits for sale and one says kits for sale that got wet. Because if you watch my last video, some of the kits did get some water on them. So I want full disclosure on that. And let's see what else. I can see in the background there, I do have a head right there. It's wrapped up, and here's my rooting supplies. I've not rooted for weeks. I did start rooting. Where did I start rooting that baby? I started rooting that baby in my last house. And then I had planned, we lived in a hotel for about 2 months because the housing market was crazy. And my whole plan was to root while I was in the hotel. But unfortunately, my husband and I each drove a vehicle here full of stuff that we did not want to put into storage with the moving company while we were looking for a house. And I could not get my hands on my rooting supplies. I knew exactly where his head was because I did have one of my 3-drawer units in the van. His eyes are in there, his body is in there, some clothes for him are in there, his COA is in there. I haven't looked now to see if I put a folder in there because my folders all did get destroyed. He's kind of a unique baby. I think I shared that. Not one you're going to see often from Kymberlee's Cocoon. So I'm hoping to share him soon, but probably about a month, maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, 1 or 2 days, I got a little bit of rooting in, and was hoping to have him available soon, but now with everything going on, I am going to try to get some rooting in where I can, give myself an hour here and there just as kind of a little bit of an escape. So that brings me to some questions. I have had some questions people have sent me, and thank you for all of your messages. I've had some lovely messages. It does take me a while to respond to them, but I think I have responded to all of them at this point. So thank you very much. I think I mentioned in my last video about my kit lists. I just didn't feel, it didn't sit right with me about just making the video, because not everybody watches all my videos. So I did, to the best of my ability, go through Facebook and my email and email the people that I thought were on kit lists. I just composed a real simple email sending them to my video to get all the details. So I felt better about doing that. But I have had some questions, one of which is, will there be more kits listed than what are currently on my website? No. I waited till I was able to list everything because I didn't want people thinking, oh, well, let's wait and see what else she has. Everything I'm going to be selling is on my website, so there will be no more additions. I did save about 10 or 12 kits in the hopes that at some point I will regroup. I don't have to make that decision today. My brain just can't fathom ever painting again, nor can it fathom not ever painting again. So it's this really weird compartment in my brain that I don't really go to, because I'm just in this weird space when it comes to reborning. And I really don't know how to describe it other than how I just did. I've asked about shipping out of the U.S. Right now, I am not shipping out of the U.S. just for a variety of reasons. One, the addition of filling out customs forms and dealing with VAT and paying all the taxes. I can't even do that right now. Nobody has asked me this, but in the event you live out of the U.S. and you have somebody in the U.S. that would be willing to ship it to you, feel free to have them purchase the kit on your behalf, and I will ship it to them within the U.S. and then they can ship it on to you. That's the only thing I can think of to offer right now, because I can't do that right now. Let's see. Oh, cost of kits. How did I come up with the cost of my kits? Some of the kits are still available on websites, and so I priced accordingly, but I did have to add in a little bit for shipping. I did not say free shipping. I just said price includes shipping. I am swallowing quite a bit of the costs. I believe, if memory serves, a kit that I have sold for $150 after PayPal fees and shipping costs, I believe I got $108 out of it. So what you're seeing is not what I'm getting, for those of you that don't understand how all the back works on stuff. So I did see recently, I saw a Lulu on Facebook for $950 plus 35 US dollars for shipping. So I don't feel I've overpriced anything. My highest kit, I believe, is Asriel, and I am asking $550 for him. He is a very limited kit. He is one of 200. He's number 2. He's not number 1. He is 1 out of 200. He is number 2. I believe I shared this in my last video, but briefly, he was the first kit I pre-ordered. I had never pre-ordered a kit before. I actually had not even taken my Reborn in class, but when I saw that kit, I knew I had to paint it. And I pre-ordered 3, thinking he would have this huge number. And I was shocked when I got him that there were only 200 of him. I can't believe like thousands of people didn't order that kit. I was just shocked. And then to get number 2, 3, and 4, I did paint them backwards, doing the highest number first, working back to the lowest number. But when I went to that show to take my class with Kate Charles, Georgia was going to be there. And so I brought all 3 bodies with me and she signed them. So not only is he very limited of only 200 kits, I do see people on Facebook from time to time asking for that kit. But he is number 2. Georgia kept number 1. His body is signed, and he's an extraordinary kit. I have had the pleasure of painting him twice, and a couple lovely ladies in the community have them. Tasha has one, and Arlene, I believe, has the other. So, yeah, if you ever want to paint an amazing kit that looks African, Asriel is the kit to paint. Anyway, so he is my most expensive kit for all those reasons. He is worth that and more, really. But let's see. Let me look at my list of questions here. Am I going to be selling other things? I think I might have briefly said in my last video. I will honestly tell you that is my first video that I did not watch back before I posted it. I felt quite emotional making that video, and so I just didn't watch it back. So maybe I must have made reference to it. I have not gone through the other things. I have some drawers of baby clothes that I may go through in the upcoming days or weeks or whatever. In the event I do, I don't know if I'll make a video. If I do sell them, my plan is on the page on my website that says kits for sale, I will just change the name of that to kit and clothes for sale. And what I will more than likely do is just kind of lay out what's going to go in like a medium flat rate box. And I will snap a photo. You're probably not going to see the entire outfit of everything, but it'll all kind of be like fanned out. And then that will be the photo on there. And then I will pack it up and I'll, post a price. But at this point, I don't know exactly when that is going to be. So for now, I just have the kits. I've been asked, because I did mention about the loss of things and what all I lost. I've been asked about my collection. I did not lose my collection, thank the good Lord. I did lose one baby, but she's one you've never seen. And I will talk about her at some point. She has quite an interesting story. And at some point I would like to share that with everybody. In terms of my business stuff, I will briefly say, as I said earlier, I lost my folders. I lost quite a bit of my brushes. They were in a plastic bin, so the ones on the top were fine. And the other ones would have been fine too. The boxes got a little wet, but they are inside in plastic. But anything that was wet, I did dispose of, just because I didn't want to send anything out. I mean, the bottom of the bin had some water in it, and that's where my folders were as well. So the bottoms of my folders were all wet. So I did salvage the ones I could at the top. And then I did have a plastic file, like a file crate. And in there is where I keep my birth certificates, my poem, my iron-ons, everything, all that stuff. My cards, my business cards, care instructions, all of that got destroyed. And all my paperwork for the business got destroyed. But I'm really focusing on what survived. I'm answering that because I was asked. But I really want to focus on number one, most important, my husband and I are safe. That is the most important thing to me on this earth. All of this is stuff. We all love our stuff. It brings us great joy. But at the end of the day, my husband and I are what is most important. And we are blessed that the floor we live on did not have any issues. So we have a livable space. Forgive me if I'm repeating myself from my first message, but those are some of the things that were lost in terms of the business. And, but again, I would like to focus on what did not get lost. So, and I've been asked, will I ever paint again? I did touch on that a little bit earlier, so I feel I've answered that question. I've asked why I'm only doing 1 day of shipping, which I did discuss earlier in the day. I realize as an artist, especially if you see a kit that you've wanted for a long time and you've paid, you want it shipped right away. I do appreciate your grace and understanding that I can only ship 1 day a week. It takes that pressure off of me. I know that on Wednesday I need to be printing out labels and then ship on Thursday, and that I have that in my mental schedule. So that is very helpful for me. So I really, really appreciate that understanding and grace. Those are all the questions I have written down here. And then a couple little updates of what's been going on. I'm not sure if I shared with you in my other video that our furnace was no longer working after the the water came in. They were able to get our hot water heater back going, and they're like, well, at least you'll be able to take hot showers. Well, ladies, for nearly 2 weeks, I took cold showers. Whoo, it was so hot. We were having a heat wave here. We were in the high 80s, low 90s, and it was about as hot in the house. So I was taking several cold showers a day to cool off. And I was just thankful I had running water. It did bring me back to Ethiopia. About 15% of the time I had running water. I never, in the house that I lived in, my host family, I never took a running shower because they basically had a big drum of rainwater with a little pitcher, and that's, you stood in the tub and dumped it over yourself, and it was ice cold. But anyway, so it kind of took me back to that, except here I did have, it was flowing from a shower head. But we were supposed to, so the guy from the furnace company replaced the motherboard shortly after the flood, but turned out the motor was destroyed as well. And so it was supposed to be in yesterday. And I got a phone call on Thursday from this young man telling me, he's like, I don't know how this happened. I was actually just about to the post office to drop off kits when he called. It was my last errand of the morning. And he said, I'm not really sure how this happened, but your motor's in. Everything's been running behind. And I said, well, that's prayer. So he said, I can be at your house in about 20 minutes. I said, perfect. I'm just about to the post office and then I'm heading home. And so he replaced that. He did have to replace a part also on the outside. And thankfully, he called around and he found a local shop that had them. So we have now had our air up and running since Thursday. So I'm back to taking normal temperature showers. And honestly, for those couple weeks, I did not sleep much. I am a furnace by nature. And so I like the weight of blankets on me. So it was really hard for me to sleep. And I'm somebody who can only go so long without having 8 hours of sleep. I've been like that since a baby. Well, longer as a baby. I had to sleep longer than 8 hours, but you understand what I'm saying. So, so thankfully, I'm just praising God that we have air again. And I've just been continuing to do stuff around the house. We haven't done too much downstairs yet. There's a couple more things my husband needs to take care of before I can start maneuvering stuff down there. So everything's still in the center of the room. And, I just lost my train of thought. Y'all know the train has left the station. Give me a second here. There's a few things my husband wants to do. Oh, and we've been waiting for a really good downpour. We've had a couple downpours, but one lasted about an hour. We've taken in no water. We think all the things we've done thus far, and we've got a couple more things to do that we feel like, okay, we'll feel like we're not going to be concerned when it rains. We've ordered some stuff. We're waiting for it to come in to be able to do those things. Some of the stuff will be arriving today, and some of the stuff I believe will be arriving tomorrow. So I think, oh, and then there's one more thing that my husband ordered that he forgot to update the address. So it arrived at our old house today. And so I did reach out this morning to our post office there, and they were able to redirect it here. It was supposed to automatically happen, and later, and they told me it would automatically happen, and when I checked the tracking, it said that it was delivered. So I called again, and he sent the carrier back, and it has now been redirected here. So so that's going to be a couple day delay, unfortunately, because that was a project that he was going to work on either tonight or tomorrow, because the other things for that project are arriving today. Anyway, so those are my updates. I'm still finding joy in everything. I don't know the reason for this. I just think it was, it was some things that the previous homeowners did. And that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to be negative, because it's not going to help anything. We are moving forward from this. And I like to look for the lesson in things when they happen. And I have always been a very, very trusting person. And I've been taken advantage of a lot in my life because of it. And I trusted some people during this sale that I have to be a little bit more guarded and in all aspects of my life, I think. So I believe that's my lesson in this. I don't know, but I'm hoping, because I don't like to repeat things. Oh, and y'all know we got some water in our last house. We were renting that house, but nothing like this. Nothing like this. I didn't lose anything in that. So anyway, so yeah, so stay tuned. I don't know when this baby will be ready. I do have my waiting material is fine. I have my containers of glass beads, and I do know I for sure lost some of my filling. I'm not sure if I lost all of it. So I would have to buy filling. So that's just it. It's the thought of having to replace everything in order to be send a baby home. So if I decide to sell this baby, it might not be as Kymberlee Cocoon as normal, meaning the folder and all the stuff. In the event somebody adopts this baby that's never adopted from me, I would probably email them a copy of my care instructions and stuff and let them know that in the future I could send them a birth certificate. But I don't know at this point. I just have to again, my brain can't really go there. It just doesn't let me. It's very, very interesting. So we'll see. I'm just rambling at this point. I'm going to sign off, and everybody have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. I don't know when I'll be back on. And again, I don't know if and when I will list clothes, but at this point, I'm just selling kits. And in the future, if I ever sell other things, because I have been asked about other things, mohair, eyes, paint, and all that stuff. My mohair and eyes were fine. And at this point, I don't want to sell those things or paint or any of that stuff, because I do hope I paint again. A couple of the kits are keeper kits, my Gabriel and my Atticus. So I would at least like to paint those, but I did keep, like I said, about 10 or 12 kits. Some that got wet, some that did not. And they are all in their baggies now in the dining room in a box. And that's all I have. Y'all remember, I used to have that rack full of kits. Every shelf was full. There were kits hanging off the side. I'm down to a box. And I think that's another lesson. I think moving forward, I am not going to purchase tons of kits. I do have one kit on pre-order from months ago, and there are a couple kits I've seen that I would like to get. I do know that China is delayed in their production because of the lack of vinyl. So that's a blessing for me right now, because I can't afford to buy kits right now. I have to be fixing, paying for the damage around here. So, all right, everybody. I will put a link down below to my website. And again, anybody who wants to share this, please feel free to share my website if you know anybody that's looking for kits. I did try to share it on a couple Facebook groups, but they like you to post the individual kit with a safety photo, and I honestly don't have the time for that right now. I did post a little brief paragraph along with a link to my website on a couple pages, and they've been removed. So I guess I broke the rules. So anyway, so they're not on there anymore. I have posted on Instagram and my Facebook page as well as here. But I would appreciate anybody reaching out to any artist or people. I know there are many collectors who buy kits and send them to artists. I've actually had some collectors buy kits. They're going to do that exact thing. So please feel free to share and get the word out that I have these kits for sale. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, everybody. Have a blessed rest of your Tuesday, and thank you for stopping by. And remember to find at least one thing to be joyful about every single day, and that's another joy bubble. My joy bubbles survived. Those were actually on a shelf. We have some built-in shelves in the basement, and I had a section for what I was calling decor, things that needed to be hung up, and I have my joy bubbles there. So that brings me great joy. I should have brought one up and hung it right there, but I didn't think about it. So I'm not going to remake the video. Just imagine the joy bubble hanging right there, okay? Give you a second to visualize. All right, remember, find at least one thing to be joyful for. Thank you again for stopping by. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.